What up, fellow Rust players? It's your boy Defango here, and I got another video today expanding upon the Tier 1 auto sorting system and bringing you into the Tier 2. Since this game is supposedly about progression, we're going step by step to make sure that you got the best understanding where you need to use this stuff. And as you know, we had to reset up the sorting system, and we got all of our category filter boxes on the tier 1 circuit. So when we're looking to go to tier 2, what does that even mean? That means that we want more refined categories for boxes. We're getting lots of loot and we're running out of space in our category boxes. How do we extend this out? And that's exactly what we're going to do. So I think the first thing is to fix an issue with the last video, because I have discovered that a problem that I thought that we had no longer exists, and we can actually make the sorting system faster, which is going to be basically detrimental or most important for anyone trying to utilize this in a large setting with like a bunch of clans and stuff. And the first thing you're going to do is put down a combiner and a splitter next to whatever drop box you're going to use. And this is going to speed up the process considerably, okay? So we're going to take each of the outputs and connect them together like so. Easy peasy. And then once we have these interconnected, you want to go ahead and connect this to the middle socket on the combiner, and then connect the combiner into the splitter, and then connect the combiner and splitter back together on both sides. So you should have this thing looking up. I don't know why it works, but honestly, I will show you right now that it actually does work. So first off is you're going to need faster sorting. You're going to need faster drop boxes. This is how you set them up. Next, you'll see that we disconnected it from our actual system. You can do this at any time, so you don't, if you're running low on frags or something, you can get it done. Next thing is you'll want to put a combiner, because you'll probably want to have more than one drop box, right? You'll want one inside by the front door, maybe one on the roof, whatever. Either way, you'll just want to make sure you connect this thing into a combiner. And then I'm going to change the color to green to kind of signify that it's going into the filter system. So now I have one drop box, and if, like, say I got one on the roof, I want another one, you'll see this one just started rolling. And it was a full box already. And it just pulled everything out of it. I had that box pretty full here too, so we'll just go ahead and just run this over across real quick. And then that's how you connect another drop box. And you'll notice that this one's still pretty quick, but it's definitely slower. It takes out less of everything. But if we put these in here, look how fast these ones go. It does like 200 to 300 more metal frags at a time. So whenever you're setting up drop boxes, it's better to have one box with a bunch of combiners as opposed to two boxes with one combiners, because it's going to be way faster. So that's the first part of extending it, making it a little bit more complex, right? But you'll see that there's no conveyors here. There's only conveyors in front of each of the boxes, and that's the most important part here. It's because we're trying to be as simple as possible. So now, let's say I want to take this and my base is bigger. I got a big open core loot room and I want to have more refined boxes. How do I get that set up? Well, it's pretty easy. You're just going to use combiners. Lots and lots of combiners. You can use one combiner for 3 boxes. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Bam. 1, 2, 3. And then we got an extra one over there. So we'll have to have an extra combiner created in order to get that done. So let me get one made. Where, okay, oh, there it is. Let's get some more made. Make 10 more, even though we probably don't need them. And then all 3 of these are going to need to get connected together, right? So, we could even do just 2 to 2, right? Like, yeah, I'll just do it like that. Why not? So basically now, since we're doing the sorting system, and we're going to tier 2, we'll start by taking all of the outputs on the boxes and running them into combiners. Pretty easy to do this one, shouldn't take you too long. The ideology here, or what we're doing here, is basically just making it so that all of these boxes are connected into one line, and then we can split off into however many other boxes we're looking to have, which is pretty easy. So you can have as many boxes in this person, but there's only 13 category filters, so building more than that is just kind of silly in my opinion. After 8 boxes, it's kind of like you might as well just have an individual box for everything, right? Because that's what most of you big loot boys are probably going to want anyway. So, as I go through this, slowly but surely, we'll get all of these guys interconnected like we want. And then we'll have this super combiner, I guess is what you're going to call it. I don't know. It's a combiner. There's a lot of them. I think it's what it's supposed to do. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're going to need like this. One more. And it'll be different from everybody's setups, right? But you'll notice since I haven't connected any boxes with any conveyors or anything, nothing real crazy is going to happen. And then you'll see how I just daisy chain those 2 boxes into here, and that into there, and that into there. And that basically is all of the boxes combined into one, which at first right now doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but it probably will here in a second. So now all those boxes are interconnected with each other. What can we do with this? Well, you know, we got a lot more splitters over here for those boxes, but I'm just going to take this and I'm going to make this my split off junction. So like this will go to that direction. I can use this for TC upkeep. I could do vending machines, whatever. But ultimately, now that all of these things are set together, we could start refining by categories over here. So, you know, if I want a box of assault rifles, I can do that pretty easily. And I could just set an individual category filter on that box. Get her all connected up to my combiner situation. Right? Not too difficult. Seems pretty situated. Now, if I take this industrial combiner and connect it on over here, I can say, okay, I got that one. Turn this box on. And if I got any AKs, it should be pulling them AKs out into that box. And you can hear it just did it. So it pulled those AKs out of this weapon box right here. And you'll see that it's not going to pull anything else out of there. And this is how you basically get it set up so that it does more refined sorting for you. So you could do it to one box, or you could have boxes with more stuff in them, right? And again, you turn it on. I just said, hey, I want Thompson's in there. And oh yeah, I should do like an M39 because I have a couple in that box already. And once you add the filters, it'll automatically start pulling. And yes, if you want to extend it out again, you could just do another combiner situation to connect all of those boxes together. And that's basically how you make it more complex. You know, you don't want to build things in a silly way where you're going to have a lot of different, you know, moving parts. You want it to be as simple as possible. So, you know, you got your speed box, you got the slow box, right? But if you want to make the slow box a fast box, you just need to get the combiners on. But you will notice sometimes that, oh, wait, this storage adapter won't fit. So think about this, you know, depending on where you're placing these drop boxes, if they're in a jump up or under something, it's going to limit the speed depending on the placement. So that's kind of how that is, but it's not like it still doesn't work. You can still connect, and connect like so, and everything will be copacetic. Nice. And then another thing to think about is that, you know, you still have your outside connector right here. So if we take this one empty connector and connect it up, this now becomes an area where we could put all of our inputs. So if we got vending machines, we could have them output to here with their scrap. Or if we got an industrial crafter, we could have that system output to here, and it will dump everything in this box and then sort it as we need it to be. And that's the way it kind of works, you know, and it'll work for basically anything. If you want a box of stones, you're going to have a box of stones. And what's going to happen? It's going to hit the resource box first. And then it's going to pull that stuff out of the resource box and put it on over here. So let's see, you know, let's do metal frags on this one. Right, we'll get it turned on. Oh, but we need to have the outputs hooked up. So let's get the outputs hooked up really quick. You know, We're doing it live. Oh, and then we need to connect these two together, right? Now, turn that one on. And then I'm going to change this one to high quality metal because that's what was in there. And then again, you know, get your output set up. Get your input set up. Doesn't have to be difficult at all. It just, I think, needs to be done in a repeatable, understandable way so people will actually utilize it and get, you know, the ideology behind it. Because, you know, when I usually set this up, people are really impressed, but they're still kind of like, where is everything? Because you got to learn the system, right? You got to learn what's in what box, right? You got to learn the stacks, so on and so forth. And you got to probably not arm yourself with like 1,000 different things or whatever, because if not, you're going to fill up all your boxes real quick, like that one, right? Because it's got all that stuff that, you know, I could take all this out, put all this back in here, put it all back in here, and it's already sorted. And then you're going to notice, too, that there are some things that don't sort. Like this stuff. How come it's not sorting? Is the box full? Big questions. We don't really know. Is it the box full? Is it not category filtered? I don't know. But you will run into items that do not sort, and they'll just stay in the Dropbox. So you'll just have to find a box to make your catch-all box to put them in, right? And usually, since we have like the ability to put up to 12 filters on a box, right? So, you know, like workbenches or mixing tables, those aren't going to get taken up for whatever reason. They don't really come up under electrical or construction. So, you know, you just go in and say mixing table. Be like, oh, yep, we need to add that one into a box. Put it where you think it's going to make sense, and then it'll automatically move it over for you. There it just went. There it is. And I mean, that's a limitation that FacePunch made for us. That's not something that we could do. And I mean, you know, nothing would be complete without an actual TC connection. And I think the best way of doing a TC connection is to have the TC basically connected to the resource box. You hit the industrial out to the industrial in, and then you connect it to your TC, figure out what your upkeep is, and then just turn it on. So this one says that it's just stones. You can give it a good round number. I'll just say 1,500. And then that's it. And then that'll automatically pull it just out of this box so it doesn't really screw up. But you could also, you know, disconnect it from here. And then go all the way over here to there. And do the same exact thing. See? So you have options, right? What we're doing here is just teaching you how it works so that you can utilize it in a better capacity for what your setup is. And I think the most important things here to come out of this are going to be the speed output, because this is literally important for Dropboxes if your team is bigger than just you. And if you got a big clan or something, you're definitely going to need to use that. But you'll see that it'll still work if you just interconnect these guys together without the splitter. It just definitely makes it a whole lot faster with this little setup right here. And on top of that, understanding that you got to combine everything together and then split it off into bigger boxes, or you don't even have to split it off. You can just combine it over and connect it up like that. You know? Easy peasy. And this is gonna, that would stop working, but you know, you could still have it where you don't use the splitter. All of these guys are getting sorted, and then at the end of this line, you basically create the same system and sort it out. So I hope that helps you get a better idea of the complex nature of how big you can make the sorting system. And in the next video, we're going to show you kind of what it would look like with a 5X clan, big O number of groups, so that you can see how to manage multiple boxes with one conveyor. Either way, if you like what we do here, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, share this with your friends, and hopefully I'll see you guys in the game. Defango out. Adios.